Okay guys, I wanted to make this video because it is currently September 2019, and our growing season here in Miami has officially started. And the garden is not really so popping right now, but I kind of wanted to document it so that in a couple months, again, when I do another kind of garden tour, we can kind of see the difference, and hopefully it'll just be so full of life and flowers and vegetables and all that goodness. So I have a very small backyard. Let me just start off with that. This is essentially where I sit, and here's the whole backyard. Hopefully you can kind of, there's the lake, another corner, and another corner. It's very small. Orange blossom jasmine that I got from my mother. It was a little seedling that grew from her huge shrub that she has in her backyard. I don't think they sell these anymore, so that's how I was able to get it. But intertwined in it is blue butterfly pea. Let me see if I could show you some of the flowers here. Super beautiful. Blue butterfly pea, also known as clitoria, because obviously I'm sure you can figure that out. People make amazing teas with this plant. It's said to be anti-inflammatory and calming, although I think it's just mostly used really for its color. And it's climbing up this guava I have. So this guava is a dwarf Barbie pink guava. I pruned it back heavily because it was getting a little out of control, and it flowered again after I pruned it, which is great, but I'm not holding my breath for any fruit. We'll see what happens, but I thought that was cool. So coming around this way, I have a bed here. I just planted some squash, which you can see they're just now coming out. Go here, I have my dwarf bananas. I have some fruit here. They just constantly produce for me, which is amazing. We have a Seminole pumpkin vine. I plant this every year around this time so that I can have pumpkins for Thanksgiving. And here I just have a couple pots. I put dill. It's the large, huge bouquet dill, which has like enormous flowers, which I grow every year. It's so beautiful, and the pollinators love it, and I really love eating fresh dill. And then here is a pot of all calendula. I think this is Orange King calendula. As you can see, I just planted it. So hopefully when I do an update video, this pot will be popping and it'll be gorgeous. And back here, some perennial shrubs that I have that don't go anywhere is my shrimp plant. It's like a little shrimp. It's so cute. Pollinators love it as well. And an orange honeysuckle. Beautiful. And obviously pollinators love that as well. It's really lovely. It just rained, so it's a bit heavy now with the rain. Next to it, I have this false oregano, which is really heavily scented, and it has a lot of little white flowers when they bloom. I mean, right now it's not in bloom, obviously. There you go. Just touching this, I mean, the smell is incredible. But the bees adore it. Every time it has this little white flowers, the bees go crazy. Right next to it is my rosemary. Right here is my Mysore raspberry, which I pruned maybe just a little too much last year, to be quite honest with you. I got a little bit too heavy with it because I got kind of annoyed with it. You see how crazy the thorns are, and they get me every single time. And not just that, but if you look, I don't know if you can, let me see if I could do it. Can you see that there's little thorns and spines on the bottom as well? So pretty much every time I come near this plant, I get hooked. It stabs me. It's terrible. But delicious berries for the boys, so I guess we're just gonna deal with it. Bougainvillea, a desert rose. Again, the pumpkin vine is just coming over. These are all my greens. I planted all in here. We've got Mitsuna, which I really love the taste of Mitsuna, to be honest with you. I like eating it raw. I love the taste of Mitsuna. It can be eaten raw and it can be cooked. I almost prefer it raw. It has such a fresh, crispy, like lettuce taste, but it grows really well down here, where normally regular lettuces give me a hard time. There's some little kale mixed in here as well. I just kind of threw a bunch of seeds, and then what I'll do is as they grow, I will harvest them almost like microgreens, which then will leave room for the other plants to kind of grow larger, and you kind of go from there. I've done this method every year. This is purple Mitsuna, and it works great. It's kind of like a permaculture thing I've seen online, and I really enjoy it. Look at this pumpkin vine. How beautiful. Oh, I really can't get over these. This is like one of my favorite plants. And look at it, just ready and waiting to reach out. Grab onto the next. Look at grabbed on here. Jaboticaba, fruit tree, slow growing. So great for a small space because I can keep it in a pot for a really, really long time, which is amazing. I think this tree is also called Brazilian tree grape, I believe. It grows its fruit on the stem instead of how you normally would have like the flowers, you know, here with the leaves on a branch. My carrots, again, I just did a variety, a mix. I just put them all in a bowl, mixed them up, and sprinkled them around. I actually had Max sprinkle these so you can see it's pretty dense. Some blanket flower, coreopsis, beautiful. And then here I have my little cucumber trellis. Ever since I've moved into this house, I've been living here 3-4 years now. I have not had success with the cucumbers specifically. They just get really diseased and eaten, chewed up, gone, like, or stop producing, or they're just very weak. So I loaded up this bed with compost, even though I know that there's nematodes in here, so this might actually not work at all as well. I just put a bunch of compost. I did put beneficial nematodes in the soil, so hopefully that's enough to kind of combat that and let the cucumbers get a little farther ahead. I do plan on planting marigolds around here. I just planted so many seeds that I'm waiting for them to all come up. This is a butternut squash. I don't expect this to really do anything. It was just a seed from a butternut squash I had eaten, and I threw it in because why not? Let's just try it out. So we've got the lake here outside of my fence. I have a Loquat. The variety is Oliver, after my first son's name. And then right here I have a Calamandan orange, really loaded up with fruit. Right here on the fence I've got Lychee alba, also known as some sort of tropical verbena. The bees absolutely adore this plant, and it smells like pure lemons, and I love it for tea. It's just, I just love the citrus, like citrus scented plants. It's so good. Oh, I wish you could smell that. Here we've got Costa Rican mint. You know, I love the aromatic plants, you know. I've got oregano growing all here. Here's some milkweed that self-seeded that I'm just leaving it alone. And here, for the first time this year, I'm growing yardlong beans. I've seen some other people here in Miami grow them, and I know that they can handle the hot weather. They're not necessarily a cool crop, but I feel like it's gonna be hot this year for a long time, so why not? Let me try them out. I need to prune back this area because there's a little bit too much shade here, but I'll do that later today. I'm growing a papaya. There's another papaya over there. Oh my god. Oh, these bees are just going crazy around my head right now. Here's a sweet almond bush. which again smells like sweet almonds. It's an incredible smell, and the bees adore it, so I plant it for them. Let's come down here. See, there's some more. Let's come over here. Another papaya. So here's this little tight spot. Oh gosh, let me see. So where the sweet almond is, I've got my lychee tree. Just recently heavily pruned it a couple months ago, and it just skyrocketed with growth again. This little area here, forgot to show you, these are the cucumbers and my bananas. See, I was going like that. So right here in the center, got another papaya. It's just so beautiful. This is one of my favorite leaves. I just think the look of the papaya tree is so beautiful. Got some purslane, beautiful. Some sweet potato vine, just because I really enjoy eating the greens of this. My son actually planted this without me knowing, so I just ended up leaving it because I really do enjoy eating it. Here's some radishes we planted, some French breakfast, and a white variety. I don't remember the name right now. My son planted these as well, but looks like they're getting eaten up. Some Dianthus. All the flowers just died, so hopefully it'll come back now. Some marigolds. These are neem begone or something like that, specifically really good for deterring the nematode population in the soil. Here's another butternut squash. We'll see if this does anything. Here I just planted some peas at the base, which now they're sprouting. My little ducks that like to hang out in the garden. Someone loves the Brazilian spinach. You know what you must be thinking? Oh my god, stop them. But no, I will not. This spinach grows crazy. So in a way, this is nature's way of helping me cut it back. Just let them get a free meal out of it. I don't mind sharing. We've got Tumerics. Got a lot of turmeric growing right now. As you can see, this is another raised bed. Pooka variety I just thought was so darling. Turmeric. I've got some dragon fruit here, some cuttings from a friend that will hopefully grow up this stick. Here's my compost, super important. Base of my lychee. Got some lovely pentas for the butterflies. It's so pretty. Little box with the Brazilian spinach and the Spanish needle. We've got a golden thryallis. So there's this. Key limes next to the barbecue. I've got some night blooming jasmine back here. Really smells amazing. Little seedlings. Back to like where we started. Beautiful butterfly Oxalis, I believe. Here, giant milkweed, which the caterpillars just recently ate. So I'm waiting for that to bounce back. Here's a little pot I have with my ginger. And looks like a little tomato hitchhiked here, which is fine. I'll just let it ride. If there's anything in specific you guys would like to see, hopefully I can check back in a month or two and things will look very different. I hope to sort of catalog my gardening of this year, of this season, here through YouTube. So I hope you guys are interested in videos like that. All right, till the next one.